gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Friends, Facts, and Fiction. As always, this podcast is made possible by our local convenience stores, the misappropriation of history, and you. And now to your hosts, Justin Hammonds, Grant Bramlett, and Drew Shellnut.
What's up? What's happening, world? This is a podcast called Friends, Facts, and Fiction, episode
15?
15?
Yeah. Question mark? Okay, cool. 15.
It is 15.
Yeah. And thank y'all for rocking with us. We got a lot of feedback on the women's Sex Q episode.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
A lot of feedback.
It's our top listened to episode of the season.
Yeah,
if you
so
will.
go back and peep that. It's season 3, all about psychology.
Wait,
And-
what are some of our comments?
Oh my God. Oh, it's the thing is like, oh, I heard you got the podcast. I'm like, yeah. It's like the women's sex key episode's awesome. I was like,
okay.
oh, that's the first episode you listened to. Word. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad I pulled you in.
That's great,
Listen to
though.
the rest
Yeah.
of the library, though.
It has
You know what
gotten
I'm
some
saying?
good hits, yeah.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
only have about 80 other episodes to listen to.
Yeah. A lot of work into it. Again, if y'all want to support us, go to anchor.fm/Friends, Facts, and Fiction. You can subscribe to our lives and our work.
And we out.
Oh,
Wrong.
yeah,
Sorry,
this
sorry,
is intro.
wrong cue.
I'm Justin Hammonds, and I'm looking at my boy Drew Shellnut
You may be.
and my boy Grant Bramlett.
Hello.
And we in the building right now with a very special guest. Miss Kayla Matthews is in the building.
Hi.
How you do?
Hi.
I do.
Oh, yeah. Right on. And today's topic is sexual orientation
Yes, sir.
and the psychology behind that, I imagine. Grant authored this one again, I believe. And it's a Grant dominant season.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
He's out here putting in work. You know
There's a
what I
lot
mean?
more D's than G's on
why
this
y'all-
board over here.
Why y'all slip?
I
Why
mean, a
y'all
lot more
slip and he
G's than
working?
D's. Mm-hmm. GDs.
It's
These
true.
are the-
DGs.
There's one J up there, bro. I mean,
That's right.
actually, there's 2 J's on that board.
Get it in, baby.
I was ahead of 2 of those episodes, I think.
Actually,
and one might not happen.
So I planned accordingly.
Obviously the most reliable person here. But shit, man, we're here. We're back in it, man. Thank y'all for rocking with us. How's everybody's week going? Everybody good?
Yeah.
In here?
Yeah, it's all right.
So, yeah.
You know,
Solid?
I'm
Good.
It's Monday, so,
I'm living out my
How's that?
or like I tell people when they walk by in the restaurant, oh, how's it going? And I'm busting my ass and I'll look up and go, living someone's dream.
That's good. I like that.
Oh, that's good. That's
Because
good.
it's not mine. Because
Right.
it's my nightmare.
Yeah.
So please wake me up.
I always
And when they
say-
look at me and I say that, they look very depressed and walk off.
I always say,
But I'm
it's
just like-
going, but I'm here.
It's kind of my
That's
go-to.
right. It's going, but I'm here.
Because I feel like if I go, good, people are like, oh, so you're not good. And it's like, no, I'm as good as a person can be.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
That's like the Southern fine.
yeah.
How are you doing? I'm fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
I mean, I'm not great, not bad.
You're fine.
I like the classic,
I'm
like,
good.
no response. It's like, what's up, man? How you doing? So,
It's very hard for me to avoid the like Midwestern response of like living the dream.
Yeah.
I do that, like living the dream, man.
That's
every
that's,
time.
Oh, is that what your people do?
That's I mean, I'm not Midwestern, but
Midwesterns.
Montannans do Midwestern things.
She's from Montana.
yeah.
If you didn't know,
I know she's from Montana.
Yeah.
Damn near Canada.
I kind of talk about it every chance I get, according to Justin.
Big sky country, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy's real big.
It's real big. Sky's real big. Where you come from? Sky's real big.
This guy's real big. You get it. You get the context here. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
so Montana. All right, cool.
A whole lot of whites. Anyway, so peep this.
So America. All right, cool. Great. Wonderful. North America at that. Yeah.
So let's go dive into the song of the day, I guess.
Sure.
This is. Oh, do you want to tell a crawfish story?
No, not until this.
Okay. Well,
I want to get some vibes going first.
Okay, let's get the vibes going. So this is it's my turn this week, and I picked "Headshots for the Locals" by Isaiah Rashad.
Okay, you're coming past the past in my brand new
funniest about being
Well,
in
that
the
was
studio or
good.
playing music is hearing music through fucking headphones.
No, yeah, like the full.
Because you just really
encompassing-
don't get it. And if you guys are listening to this, slap some fucking headphones on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at least just for a
'cause
song today.
you're-
Go
you-
back
yeah,
to your
at
next
least,
program.
yeah.
Or
And then-
cans, as we call them.
I
The
can't give them
over
the
the
studio
ear
terms to
studio
the regular-
Put them
to the
cans
normies.
on your head.
Put some cans on because everything sounds better on them.
That's
does.
that's my song of the day because last week at the pizza joint I work at, it was like chaos for a minute, and he had just released this track that day, and I stumbled upon it in chaos, and I was like, on repeat. I got calm in my ear while craziness is around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need this therapy, audio therapy right now while I'm getting my shit rocked, throwing like a fucking 45 pizzas.
I really, really wish, as a bartender, it would be acceptable for me to
It's
just
like,
turn on headphones. And
yeah.
I wish it would be really accessible.
people could just hold up numbers for the drink they want. You know,
I said accessible, but acceptable for me to walk by someone and they're not wearing those because I have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
It's hard to communicate with people that are on the line when they have shit in their ears.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't wear headphones and will not or do not condone that on the line at all. And if you wear headphones in my kitchen, I might throw something at you.
Gotta get your attention somehow.
See, I do the wireless earbud, and it's in the left ear because the expo's on the
I
right.
will literally walk up to somebody and go, tap, tap. And they'll go, tap, tap. And I'm like, oh, you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
Oh man, Verizon guy. Yeah. He switched up on him though.
He did.
Is he Sprint now?
Yeah, he's with Sprint.
That was a 10.
And
Anyway.
they cannot hear him.
No, and you can't hear him at all.
Okay.
Which is actually quite fantastic because I'm tired of hearing
Yeah,
him.
who has Sprint, bro?
I don't know.
I mean,
don't know.
I have T-Mobile, and I think that's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I think they did buy out.
Who knows?
They conglomerate
Merged.
did.
Merged. They
It's
got
not good.
Yeah.
I thought T-Mobile was still just piggybacking off of any cell tower that was close by.
Yeah, but you get, I think Sprint's the same model, so it means you get low priority.
Right, you get booted off
Yeah.
pretty quickly. Yeah.
That's fun.
That's
Happens
nice.
to me at Kroger all the time. Very inconvenient.
Oh yeah. that
Well,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Do you get shot at Kroger as well? Because that
No.
happens to a lot of people.
No, not
At
usually.
least on Gallatin.
Depends on the Kroger.
Oh yeah, I went to fucking steeplechase this past weekend.
Yeah, you did.
That shit was crazy.
That we were supposed to go to as well. But
Yeah, we were supposed to do a live episode from Steeplechase, but that didn't happen. Speaking of cell phone service, I have AT&T, and people that don't have AT&T at Steeplechase, no fucking service, and it was hilarious. These chicks are walking around like, "Oh my god, my phone's not working." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, we over here in tent like 4." That shit was hilarious.
Man,
yeah,
the
good
girl
times.
that I work with was at Steeplechase this weekend and told me some stories about celebrity hookup drama.
Oh,
Married
oh,
celebrities
please spill the tea.
with my law school cohorts.
Oh.
Okay. I can't really spill the tea any more than that
Okay,
because
okay.
I'm pretty sure they signed NDAs, but
Oh, that's thick like that's how it be though.
yeah.
But your boy got nominated for Best Dressed Male at Steeplechase.
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and I'm about to post it on our gram, you know what I'm saying? See
By
what y'all think.
Steeplechase.
By the actual fashion guy of Steeplechase.
You
Walked
had
up
that.
to
You
me.
had that Jack Skellington look going.
Yeah,
on.
Look at you. Yeah, he had like these Chanel pants and his Gucci pants and Fendi pants and Louis Vuitton pants on his suit to like show that he like is a fashion guy or some shit. I don't know. And he had his clipboard and he just walked up to him and was like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "What's up, bro?" Like, "What up?" I had the horse race, bro. And he's like, "Oh no, like what's up? Like, tell me about your outfit." And I was like, "What the fuck is what?" Like, I got the suit online somewhere, bro. Like,
It is black. It is white. It is pinstripe.
yeah, it's like the t-shirt is pretty nice. It's a designer t-shirt because it's hot out here. You know, I got the Vans on. You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying?
Well, when you're
It's like,
around
cool.
rich white people, they expect you to know the creator of the clothing that
Well,
you're
see,
wearing.
the whole thing is, I had on a Vans and a fucking Express t-shirt and a suit that I got online that fits me properly.
No, I know.
So the suit fits nice, so they think it's expensive. That's a trick. But I had the Fendi shades on. I didn't even mention the Fendi shades. That probably would have got me some extra points.
Yeah, it
'cause
would
it's
have.
Fendi, but. You know, anyway, enough of my flex.
I don't
Steeplechase was fire.
You looked good.
It was fun.
You did.
Steeplechase
Yeah.
was fun. Greatest story about Steeplechase this year, though. The first fucking race, the horse that I bet on, like lost his jockey in the first lap of the first race,
one lose, jockey?
but then won the race because the horse kept just running
One has
around.
bad jockey.
A bucking this bitch off. I'm gonna win this motherfucker.
What's this extra weight, bro? Get up off me.
And then he won by just circumventing all of the obstacles.
And he didn't have
just
a
ran around.
100-pound potato sack
Instead of
on
jumping
his back.
over them.
He's
like
running by the
rest
other
did.
horses going,
Yeah.
he doesn't care about you.
Bro, he Mario Karted the fucking steeplechase, bro. You know, you got the secret shortcuts in Mario Kart. He found them all and just kept running. And everybody's like, fuck you! Like, look at this horse! And like, obviously got disqualified, but that's everybody's favorite horse. And immediately everybody stopped betting because half the fucking steeplechase lost money on that fucking horse.
Absolutely.
Because he's supposed to win that race. But
That's hilarious.
That horse definitely won the congeniality contest. Though. That's for sure.
Mr.
hope he got a sash
Congeniality.
for that.
he needs to have a victory lap by himself with nobody out there. Just like,
No
let him
jockey.
go. Just let him go. Just let him go. Let him run.
Oh, that's so
Like, give the horse the flowers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is you, player.
Here, eat these.
Yeah. But yeah, I was, kind of supposed to do that. The steeplechase review.
Well, hell yeah.
Oh, good.
It's part of my
Well,
press pass.
We did it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
it.
we did it.
Shouts out to Nashville Music Guide for letting me accompany the team, the steeplechase. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all over there at Nashville Music Guide magazine. Go check them out. But yeah, that was my weekend, and it was fun. It was exciting.
Yeah. So I had an interesting. I always cook crawfish on the weekends for the job that I work for now. We actually just did our last one for the year because it's the end of the season. I went to wash. You know, yeah. Thank you so much. I went to wash. I washed the crawfish right before I cooked them, as a certain individual should, and this time it was a little different, and they looked like they had been picked up out of concrete. And I was like, hey, bro. Walked up to my owner. I was like, man, I've been washing these crawfish for like 30 minutes, and they still look like garbage. And he was just like, oh, no, those are just egg sacs. And I went, what?
Yum.
And I was like, I'm trying to scrape this off, and you have to scrape it with a knife to scrape it off. And he was like, oh, no, those are eggs. And I was like, cool.
So it's a brunch.
Yeah, so it was brunch. Yeah,
Crawfish brunch, y'all.
it was.
Crawfish brunch. Everybody get in line.
This is Southern caviar.
Oh, my God. That's actually what I was told.
Oh, my God.
That's what I was
I
told.
was being facetious.
No. You're being right-facetious.
Right, Ceaseless. Jesus bless it.
So,
No.
I usually pardon one crawfish at least every boil, and I picked up this little bitty guy.
It's real
Time
life.
out. What?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like a turkey.
No, I pardon him like
That's amazing.
like I am the president.
When one gets liberated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I put this little crawfish with some thyme sprigs in some water,
His
so he
natural
can pull
habitat.
himself. So he can, natural habitat.
Yeah.
So he can pull himself out and breathe. And one of the funny things is, one of my cooks goes, "Your crawfish is dead." I was like, "No, he's not." He was like, "He's literally on his side floating." And I went, "Put your hand in there." He put his hand in there and snapped him, and I was like, "Yep, I told you he's not dead." And he goes, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, I put those thyme sprigs in there because, contrary to popular belief, they don't breathe underwater. They have to pull themselves up to breathe and then come back and hold it in. That's why you'll see the little bubbles." But anyway,
Hot
this
facts.
little convict, if you will,
Convict crawfish.
convict music.
Oh my God.
Is sitting in the bottom of this little jug that I have, like sitting out there with some thyme sprigs, and he's popping up every now and then. But this little 3-year-old kid, like his mom walks up, and he's like hair down to past his shoulders, beautiful hair, especially for a 3-year-old. Walks up and like his mom's holding him. He's just like, oh, he's super enamored in this little bug. And I put up what I label everything with, which is blue tape and a Sharpie. And I put it in front of him. It's like, hey, I've got to go do the inventory and do the order. If I am not back by then, I want your kid to name this crawfish. And she was just like, what? And I was like, no, yeah, he seems super like into this. Like, let your kid name the crawfish. Like, just pop it up there, tag on the container that I have them in. I come back, they're still there. And I'm like, oh, well, shit. I was kind of hoping for like a little bit of a surprise. And I turn around, start making some gumbo. And then turn back around, they're gone, but there is a tag on the container. and it is spelled Clawdious. Claudius.
That's awesome.
Claudius.
That is the best name. I couldn't have done that shit. Fucked up on us like 3 or 4 grams of weed. I couldn't have come up with that. You know, I was
That's
just
amazing.
you know, I may have been fucked up on 2 or 3 grams of weed, but still, I was laughing and it was amazing.
Claus.
And I looked under this little $10 bill just hanging out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
As a manager, I can accept tips.
Boom.
And right into the back pocket. But yeah, Claudius. Is
That's our new mascot.
Claudius the crawfish.
Claudius.
If anybody has a stuffed animal crawfish, please mail it to Friends, Facts, and Fiction Studios, and we will name it Claudius. And
Better
you will
put
see
it
it in
on
our
the
lives.
Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go.
Look at that. Look at that. Vibey. Well, that was the update on the weekend. Yeah.
Yep.
Weekend update.
Rogue Horse,
All right.
Claudius.
Was it?
Check.
I actually don't have that.
We
button
need to have like
this week.
a weekend
update?
update.
Yeah. 'Cause that's what they're mostly like that. They're
Yeah.
mostly like that. But yeah, we're gonna slide into these hot facts. Yeah.
They just blew out his ass, apparently. So,
But yeah, like I was saying, we're gonna slide back into these hot facts.
Yeah, so last week, obviously, we talked about gender differentiation. And we ended the episode on a really long list of all of the genders one can be. Hopefully that wasn't too scary for people. But
Scary.
like I said, we did gender first because that's what happens in our lives first. Start to come into that realization of what all of that is. What follows after that is something known as sexual orientation, or the desire one has for emotional, romantic, and or sexual relationships with others based on their gender expression, gender
I don't like
identity,
orientating my sex.
and or sex. Many people choose to label their sexual orientation, while others do not. So, basically, that means it's who you want to smash, or smoosh, or smooch, or just fucking hold hands with while you're watching TV.
Netflix and chill.
Think about magnets, huh? Yeah, magnets. Shit's real.
It's true.
Who'd have thunk it?
And I figured I'd start off this
Quite
episode
polarizing, yeah.
with that list of...
No. Absolutely not.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
We'll let the horrible jokes wash over you.
No, Drew
wonderful.
dropped the ball on the time joke.
I did.
The crawfish is wrapped in time.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Anyway,
It's
back
been
to-
fun, you guys. I have a thing, so
absolutely.
I gotta.
Thanks for coming, Kayla.
Or not. You know?
But
It's up to you.
Anyway, back to side facts.
So, I did want to go with starting off with the string of letters that are prominently displayed and talked about during Pride Month, and I identify each. So we got a good starting point. LGBTQIA plus. Right? L is for lesbian, which is an adjective and a noun. A woman who is attracted to other women. Some lesbians prefer to identify as gay women, though. G is for gay, adjective. Someone who is attracted to those of their same gender. This is often used as an umbrella term, but is used more specifically to describe men who are attracted to men. Note, avoid using the term homosexual. Because of the clinical history of the word, many feel that the term suggests that gay people are somehow diseased or psychologically/emotionally disordered. B is for bi or bisexual, which is also an adjective. Someone who is attracted to those of their same gender as well as to those of a different gender. For example, a woman who is attracted to both women and men. Some people use the word bisexual as an umbrella term to describe individuals that are attracted to more than one gender. In this way, the term is closely related to pansexual or omnisexual, meaning someone who is attracted to people of any gender identity. T is for transgender. That was already covered last week, but this can serve as a reminder that it's not a sexual orientation. Q is for questioning and or queer. Questioning is when a person is exploring their sexuality, gender identity, and gender expression. Queer is a term that can have various definitions but can be seen as an inclusive term or as a unique celebration of not molding to social norms. I is for intersex, which we also covered last week, but in this context, it can also be used for those that don't fit into specific gender norms. And A is for asexual, used for those that don't feel sexual attraction to either sex or that don't feel romantic attraction in the typical way. And the plus at the end, that works to allow the acronym to cover new subsects of the community, like ally, which is a term for individuals that support and rally the cause, even though they don't identify within the community. Pansexual / omnisexual also kind of falls in this. It's sort of like within bisexual as the umbrella term, but also kind of not, because that confuses people, I guess. This describes individuals who, with desire for all genders and sexes. My favorite phrase that helps explain pansexual or omnisexual is hearts, not parts. Yeah. If you think about that, it's a little easier to understand.
Look at that.
Androgynous
Hearts, not parts. Huh.
Describes those with both male and female traits. Genderqueer, a gender term used for those with no, both, or a combination of genders. Demisexual describes someone that requires an emotional bond to form a sexual attraction. You also have polyamorous individuals, term for those open to multiple consensual romantic or sexual relationships at one time. And then two spirits from earlier, that's still within the plus category, if you will. Apparently they're going to be adding a double S to the beginning of.
So they should have like
big string of letters.
You know how like when we were
So
kids,
SS, LG, LG.
That's in talks right now. Yeah.
So when we were kids, we had this
Gotta
little
get that
like
right.
wheel that
Have
you
to
would
get
like
that right.
spin the thing, and it would go to different like farm animals. And be like the cow says meow.
Yeah.
And then you would go to like they should definitely to help the layman person like.
Actually, I like that a whole lot.
Have something that like the Hugh says. Actually, you're a piece of shit, and
the best funny breakdown is Dave Chappelle's last special when he's talking about like all the letters like in a car together. You know what I'm saying? You know the bit.
Yeah.
I can't remember which special it was, but it was hilarious. And
I just saw a Dave Chappelle thing where he did Creep.
With
the Foo Fighters.
At Madison Square Garden. The first show
he sang Creep like
Really?
Yeah,
he frontman Creep with
he came
Dave
out,
Grohl.
He came out. Dave Grohl goes, and our new frontman Dave Chappelle, and he runs out there and he sings Creep by Radiohead,
and the whole crowd is singing it with him. Yeah, and he's Dave Chappelle in it, like.
And so how he pulled it off?
Creep.
How he pulled it off is he let them sing the. Yeah. And here's the microphone. Thank you, you guys.
It was fucking amazing, bro.
Okay, no, it's actually really good.
Officially, these are the things that y'all are supposed to text me.
Oh. See, this is why social media is good.
Yeah,
I'm
about
still not
social
going to
media.
do that.
All right, let's not have that argument on live air. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so I'll get back into it. Fuck social media. Okay. And let's not forget about the boring folks. Heterosexual or straight. Which I think we all know.
On social media.
No. Actually, I would feel like someone who's specifically not on social media these days would fall under the category of queer. Because that is outside of social norms.
It is.
Indeed.
Correct.
Correct. Look at that. Full circle. What he did there, he connected the tangent to the.
We fucked it all up. He brought it back together.
That's right, baby.
Adhesive out here.
So here's something I found that I thought was both interesting and a little confusing at first. Sexual orientation, which is an innate attraction, and sexual orientation identity, the labels that we utilized from earlier, are often not distinguished, which can impact assessing your sexual identity and the concept that orientation can change throughout an individual's life. Also, it may or may not align with biological sex, sexual behavior, or actual sexual orientation. So basically, the concept or label you decide to give yourself can change, and the label itself can influence your behavior in determining attraction.
Yeah.
Most people have a stable orientation, but some do experience change in orientation, and it's more likely for women than men.
That happened to me. But I don't think that I actually changed. I don't think I actually changed orientation. I think that I felt more comfortable with myself and navigating outside of those social norms as I grew older and more confident.
Yeah, for me too, actually.
Liberating the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other stuff.
They say free your mind and your ass will follow.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Is that what they say? I don't think they say that.
George Clinton says that.
No.
Or
Okay.
Bootsy Collins, maybe. One of those trippy dudes. Free your ass and your mind will follow, baby.
Bootsy's out there.
Yeah, Bootsy been out there since they first dropped acid.
Since the
70s. Anyway.
So the exact causes for the development of a particular sexual orientation have yet to be established. To date, much research has been conducted to determine the influence of genetics, hormonal action, developmental dynamics, social and cultural influences, which has led many to think that biology and environmental factors play a complex role in forming it. They used to think homosexuality was a result of a bad development, like childhood sexual abuse or troubled family relationships. But that was based on prejudice and misinformation.
White people.
There are some biological factors which may be related to the development of sexual orientation, like gene markers, prenatal hormones, and brain structure. Nothing has truly been pinpointed, but not to worry. They're still looking like they should be. But
White people.
Whatever. But seriously, it is a large combination of several factors at play. And from what I understand, most of the time environmental aspects are mentioned. It's not social development or anything like that, but the early uterine environment. So in a shell nut, it's not a choice. We are simply made the way we are. And some scientists believe that many of these biological factors resulting in sexual orientation are established at conception.
That's fucking wild.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Can maybe one of you is like more sciencey than me, but can I just get some clarification on why people need to know why? Like, why can't you just let people be who they are and want what they want instead of researching it?
Let me say this again.
You know
Let me
what I
say
mean?
this again. White people.
Yeah, I've listened to the motherfuckers break down like hip hop in scientific ways. I'm like, bro, just let it be hip hop, dog.
Can you just feel
just
it?
calm down, bro. Chill
Well,
out.
I think that's really is just the difference in types of people. You know, some
Right.
people are tinkerers, like I said last week. Like you grow up like taking things apart to figure out.
Some people
how
see a
it
remote
works.
and say, "Hey, let me see the tech board in there." Some people see a remote and it's like, "Oh, it works." Thank
Button
you.
makes the box over there.
That goes
go.
back
Call
to
the
the
info.
personality types thing, which I think you're going to cover. It's
Yeah,
like,
we are.
yeah. Feelers over thinkers. Yeah.
And
So
so,
you're
I mean,
the
I think
OG guest
that's
for that episode too, but you know, if you're still down.
I could talk about that all day.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, bang bang. I'll put your name back up there.
Oh God, I was erased. He said, "No, bitch, you out."
you know.
I erased your name and put it on the other episode, but I put it back on the episode. We have a whiteboard in the studio, people. That's what we're talking about.
it serves as a great distraction for our guests too. I like that.
It does. It really does. It's like, hey, there's your name.
So, anyways, back in 2012, a large, comprehensive genome-wide linkage study of male sexual orientation was conducted by several independent groups of researchers. Significant linkage to homosexuality was found with genes on chromosome XQ28 and chromosome 8 in the paracentrometric region.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
bro, you
The
killed that.
authors concluded that our findings, taken in context with previous work, suggest that genetic variation in each of these regions contributes to development of the important psychological trait of male sexual orientation.
All right, so break that down for me, Kez.
They're getting close to finding the gay gene.
Word.
If that
Boom.
helps you.
Hey, Word. Now I'm in there. Now we up to speed.
I have a hard time believing that that's
Massively
actually a
more
thing.
or less. It's not really, but that'll help.
Tell me why I just pictured a guy in a lab coat, like, ripping off his glasses.
Oh
We
my
found it.
God, we've got it, guys! Holy shit the bed! It's here, it's queer, it's not leaving.
And it's chromosome XQ28 in the paracentrometric region.
I love that you said that like a week before my 28th birthday.
There you go. There you go. Oh, yeah.
Well, you know.
The hormonal theory of sexuality holds that just as exposure to certain hormones play a role in fetal sex differentiation, hormonal exposure also influences the sexual orientation that emerges later in the adult. Fetal hormones may be seen as either the primary influence upon adult sexual orientation or as a cofactor interacting with genes or environmental and social conditions. Again, you born that way. A significant volume of research has demonstrated that the probability of a male growing up to be gay increases with each older brother he has from the same mother. There's a whole TED Talk on this. It's fucking fascinating.
That's
What?
wild.
It is
What?
known as the fraternal birth order effect, or FBO.
Oh, third kid because he's gay.
Well, here, check this shit out. Scientists attribute this to a prenatal biological mechanism, specifically a maternal immune response to male fetuses. Since the effect is only present in men with older biological brothers and not present among men with older stepbrothers and adoptive brothers, this process, known as the maternal immunization hypothesis, would begin when cells from a male fetus enter the mother's circulation during pregnancy. These cells carry Y proteins, which are thought to play a role in brain masculinization
Ooh, damn.
during fetal
that.
development. The mother's immune system builds antibodies to these Y proteins. These antibodies are later released on future male fetuses and interfere with the masculinization role of Y proteins, leaving regions of the brain responsible for sexual orientation in the default female typical arrangement, causing the exposed son to be more attracted to men over women. Biochemical evidence for this hypothesis was identified in 2017, finding that mothers with a gay son, especially those with older brothers, had significantly higher levels of antibodies to the NLGN4Y Y protein than mothers with heterosexual sons.
That's too much.
So,
My guy.
So what you're saying is that in my brain, which is not very good,
okay,
and is usually there for banter,
got it.
the Chinese were just
No, so far not good.
we're just trying to prevent any of the misnomers of like having to do with any of. I'm just saying,
I see
man.
where you at.
I'm just
They
saying.
can't have too many kids in China, so they're trying to kill off the gay gene.
They're trying to stay
see?
less woke.
Oh, that's
That was
deep.
a long walk.
That's deep. Hey,
But
I'm
just
with
saying.
you, bro.
I'm there
I'm
with
with
you
you,
now.
bro.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We some researchers now.
The Chinese, nope. Nope.
You know, I think I'm gonna follow Kayla on this one.
It's a split room now,
Great
bro.
seeing you guys. I'm out.
It's a split room now, my guy.
I'm also out.
It's just Justin.
I mean, I can sit and talk to people all day, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is
So basically, the effect becomes stronger with each successive male pregnancy, meaning the odds of the next son being gay increased by 38 to 48%.
No way.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This does not mean that all or most sons will be gay after several male pregnancies. by the
Damn
way.
it.
But rather, the odds of having a gay son increase from approximately 2% for the first-born son to 4% for the second, 6% for the third, and so on. Scientists have estimated between 15 and 29% of gay men may owe their sexual orientation to this effect. But the number may be higher as prior miscarriages and terminations of male pregnancies may have been exposed their mothers to the Y-linked antigens.
Wow.
That's nuts as fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Again, there's a whole TED
That's
Talk on it.
crazy.
It's fucking awesome.
wild,
The
bro.
guy is like a geneticist and like a neuroscientist, and his son comes out to him. And I think that type of thing from earlier, like that type of person is he was like absolutely cool, no worries here, but he was worried about like the social ramifications of having a gay son for the sake of his son.
Yeah.
But his head immediately went to, I want to try and figure out what is to be gay.
Yeah.
Why are gay?
in like
Why
a scientific way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because,
Yeah.
you know, I dove into the world in like a social way of like, I just want to be an ally. Like, I want to know what the vibe is. Like, well, what's up?
See,
You know?
as a person who's more into social science, my thought is not why are gay. My thought is why are heteronormal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why is that the norm? And I mean, I get it's on a biological level because of procreation. But I mean,
100%.
Well, and honestly, people are too afraid to branch out into the why,
yeah.
into the what, into the how of any of this, that they just go with the social norm and just run with it instead of what makes them happy or what makes them comfortable
But I mean,
with
if-
their own skin.
if
I
you
mean, I was
wanna-
questioning for a while, man. I've got my truth from experiencing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You don't know if you're going to like the calamari until you fucking try it.
Yeah.
All right.
Bang, bang.
Just
love
and just
calamari.
a little bit of dill
me too.
sauce, a
Calamari.
little bit of dill sauce. Just
That's true.
don't give me marinara.
That's
With
kind of
my-
a weird
with
thing.
my carrot-
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
because fried.
I fried it. Now hand me over the tomatoes.
He's not wrong.
That's real shit.
He's not wrong.
Because fried. Because it's South.
We put that in some grease and put some flour on it, and
Give me some
you like this
Italian
red
ketchup.
shit, dip it in.
Give me some Italian ketchup. Hell, we'll get it right.
Hell yeah, Italian ketchup.
Yeah, we'll get it right.
Calamari is an
We'll get it
Italian word. So
Deal. That's that shit you put in ranch.
Anyway.
But I think more from like the
Jesus Christ.
like the overarching like philosophical thought process on that. Like they have found some pretty strong evidence that the more sons a mother has, the more likely it is that one of those the sons down the line will end up being gay. And if you think about it from like a kind of a tribal standpoint, like we're still much more biologically related to our hunter and gatherer peoples than our just figuring out like computers peoples. So if you have too much male competition within that, then you're going to probably end up with some like issues in the tribal community, right? But a gay male is going to be able to protect the clan, if you want to call it, and not serve as competition for the other females.
Right.
And will be slightly more akin to protecting the like from a nurturing. Thank you. Yeah. So they serve as nurturers and protectors in that context, right? And the more and more humans we put on this fucking planet, there has to be
The less that we need.
Yeah, there has to be something to start to
And for real.
curve that amount of procreation that's going on. So a lot of people ask, like, why are there more gay people? Well, first of all, it's more acceptable to come out. And second of all, I really wouldn't be surprised that the more people we put on this planet, the less likely that they're all going to be breeders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Big time.
Facts. Big facts.
I wonder if that has
Nature always
has something to do with like with when the mother's having the kid, like, or having kids, multiple kids, if there is like a genealogical explanation for like the amount of testosterone or whatever that
Actually,
is passed down.
Grant
kind of
hit me
deal.
with some hot facts the other week about hormones in the womb, and men stop mentally developing because of testosterone. And
Well, and
women emotionally develop more in the womb than
Also,
we ever
if
do.
you are
That's why
below
we're
the
fucking
age,
and then
we're 40.
more throughout life.
and if
as
you
well.
are,
Yes,
and you,
yes,
if you are below
Big
the
facts.
age of 24, don't hold too much clout into your relationship. Because humans, no, I'm just going to
My
say.
point went hot facts.
Oh, hot facts all the way. Listen, your brain does not fully develop until you're at 24, male and female.
That is
and
true.
for males, it's even worse.
Oh, yeah.
It can
Terrible
go
for
up to
us.
28.
Your frontal lobe, 25 is the average. Yeah.
And so, like,
I know
have
it goes up
fun
to
with
40
that
in
one.
some people. So.
And I'm just saying, out of
Hey,
experience,
Side note, dope shirt.
appreciate it. Don't throw me off.
Oh, dope shirt as well. For you, right? Anyway.
Moving on.
Give somebody a compliment and say, oh, what about my shirt?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wore the shirt specifically for
For
this
the
episode.
episode. Yeah, I feel you.
No major mental health professional organization sanctions efforts to change sexual orientation, and virtually all of them have adopted policy statements cautioning the profession and the public about treatments that purport to change sexual orientation. These
Conversion
include
therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
Amazing.
These include the American Psychiatric Association, the American Psychological Association, the American Counseling Association, the National Association of Social Workers in the U.S., the Royal College of Psychiatrics, and the Australian Psychological Society. All
Don't
these
mess with the
motherfucking
Australians.
groups of smart people with a lot of money and a lot of time to research a bunch of shit have said, stop it.
And the Australians will kill you.
Australia will kill
Well,
you.
they've
itself.
just got a black mamba that'll do it.
They'll
Never
just
mind.
put you in Australia. And
Yeah. Like, hey,
But
pet
dingo
that snake.
ale, baby.
Yeah.
That's a really neat spider. Go look at it real quick.
In 2009, the American Psychological Association Task Force on Appropriate Therapeutic Responses to Sexual Orientation conducted a systematic review of the peer-reviewed journal literature on sexual orientation change efforts and concluded efforts to change sexual orientation are unlikely to be successful and involve some risk of harm, contrary to the claims of the SOCE, practitioners, and advocates. Even though the research and clinical literature demonstrate that same-sex sexual and romantic attractions, feelings, and behaviors are normal and positive variations of human sexuality, regardless of sexual orientation identity. The task force concluded that the population that undergoes SOCE tends to have strongly conservative religious views that lead them to seek to change their sexual orientation. Thus, the appropriate application of affirmative therapeutic interventions for those who seek SOCE involves therapist acceptance, support, and understanding of clients and the facilitation of clients' active coping, social support, and identity exploration and development without imposing a specific sexual orientation identity outcome.
Word.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to fuck them up in the head.
Yeah. Like, literally.
You know.
And for legal reasons, I can't say what I will do to you if I find out you've done that to your child.
Yes.
Killer over here.
Yeah.
And for legal reasons, I will say I will kill you.
Oh, my God. Man, it gets even, like, deeper into, like, the religious aspect of it.
Yeah, and that was just one quote,
that
and it was
bullshit.
one of the more complicated quotes that I went through and looked up a whole bunch, and it was literally just quote after quote of "stop it," basically, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like coming down and editing the episode, and I was like, this one will work.
Yeah.
I had like 12. You know?
Stop it.
Literally,
Let's just pull
everyone
this
was
one.
like, "It doesn't work. It's bad for them. It doesn't work, and it's bad for them." You know?
yeah, right.
Damaging.
And so much language to say that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you just,
Yeah.
you wish
You
you
can't
could just
just
like
say,
slap
"Stop, bro."
people in the face. and
What
be
are
like,
you
"Stop
doing? That's stupid.
You know?
Just slap them with a science device.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Science, bitch.
Oh, I would love to have just like a handheld, like big open hand that just like claps on somebody's face and
That
it just
says science.
Science.
Yeah.
It's just like science. Quack. Let's just walk off. Like, where'd that guy come from?
We can't give out our business ideas on live air, bro.
That's true.
Come on, calm down.
So I
Get that
figured
patent
Good
in
marketing.
first.
Yeah.
in pure FFF or Friends, Facts, and Fiction way, I wanted to dive in a little bit into the history of sexual orientation classification. One of the earliest ones was proposed by Karl Ulrichs in the 1860s, which is long and uses weird verbiage, but basically he found gay, straight, and bi people, peppered in with masculine, feminine, and non-binary expressions. And in the 1890s, we started on the continuum or spectrum notion instead of 2 or 3 distinct categories. And unfortunately, people still struggle with that. Seriously, the idea of orientation living on a spectrum was developed in the 1890s. I
think we're still struggling with a lot of stuff from the 1800s.
90s.
So, you know.
Yeah, and still and still like it's what in a direct in lieu example would be I told my mother about like what we were discussing for this last 2 things, and she was like, I wouldn't be able to listen to that, and I was like, wait, what? And she was like, I'm not going to listen to that. And I was like, well, I mean, you don't listen to any of them anyway, but what's the big deal here? Because I have
this is taboo shit.
I have a sister who used to be a brother who transitioned and lives in Toronto, Canada now, and my mom will not stop saying he.
The dead name or
He.
the wrong
The dead
pronoun.
name. Yeah. He, and just calls him Carrie or Kevin, and it's Carrie. And I'm just like, so
Ugh.
I just it's one of those like holding on to things that are just like,
People not wanting to fucking learn shit.
Yeah. Then there's
or mostly religion.
Yeah. It's a lot of
True.
that.
That's mostly what it is.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of
Heavy
that.
sprinkled in.
There's a whole bunch of nothing. And then there's the famous Kinsey scale in 1948 by Alfred Kinsey.
Have you seen that movie? Absolutely wild. It's
Cool.
like a
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen it.
biopic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Basically, he used a 0 through 6 system, 0 being gold star straight, and 6 being a gold star gay. And does anybody need clarification there?
No.
Gold star for not saying homosexual. Because I know they did in 1953 or whenever that
definitely
was.
did, yeah.
For sure.
Gold star, basically, you were awarded if that's the only person, or a gold star gay is someone who has only ever had sexual experiences or thoughts or attraction towards a member of the same sex.
Yeah.
In case anyone did not know that. But here's a really rad quote by Kinsey. Males do not represent 2 discrete populations, heterosexual and homosexual. The world is not to be divided into sheep and goats. Not all things are black, nor all things white. The living world is a continuum in each and every one of its aspects. The sooner we learn this concerning human sexual behavior, the sooner we shall reach a sound understanding of the realities of sex.
Love that.
Yeah,
Isn't that
great.
fantastic?
That's fucking great.
It's awesome, but shame it still hasn't happened.
I agree.
We're getting closer,
1890?
I think.
We are.
Because it's getting
Hopefully,
closer.
probably.
I mean, you know.
You know, one of my favorite things is like, you know, it's black and white, while all of the gray that lives in there, or like night and day. The sun is never in the same goddamn place.
No. Yeah.
There's a different time of every day.
So it's
of
always
every
night and day.
You know what I mean? Like, it's always both.
Yeah.
It
Well, that's
always
why-
exists in a spectrum
Yeah.
around the fucking
And that's
planet.
what life consists around.
That's why him saying there's a continuum in all things. It's like, so why would we think that we're
That
so
there's a
special
binary,
and we're
yeah.
so
Exactly.
different?
Right.
Exactly.
That's a problem with sentience, right? Is that we just tend to put ourselves above every other aspect of Earth.
Everything.
Yeah.
And we're actually, we're not that smart, so we try so hard to put things into boxes because
Right.
that's how we understand it a little better.
And that we need to understand it.
Yeah.
Instead of
I
just
don't
letting
see
it
no
be.
animals doing no podcast.
No animals are talking about their own dolphin experience or
Because they don't have to.
well, maybe they are. We don't know.
They could be. They could be. Right? They got social circles.
They do.
Actually, dolphins are the closest to sentience below us, I hear. Them and pigs. Anyway, sorry.
That's true.
Pigs
Dropping out facts.
pigs also have 30-minute orgasms. So
That sounds a lot.
I'll be right
That sounds
back. I gotta be a pig.
That
Sounds like too much.
is what that sounds like.
So there was
Wow.
there was a lot of issues with objectivity in the Kinsey scale, and it's difficult to place individuals in the 2 to 4 range, especially when there are a lot of sexual experiences in a person's life.
Hey.
And it's pretty biased towards straight individuals, but definitely a step in the right direction. In response to the criticism of the Kinsey scale, only measuring 2 dimensions of sexual orientation, a man named Fritz Klein developed the Klein Sexual Orientation Grid, or the KSOG.
In relation to Calvin?
No. And it's a multi-dimensional scale for describing sexual orientation, introduced in Klein's book, The Bisexual Option, in 1978.
Option.
It's an option.
That's an option.
Still the 70s, you know. The KSOG uses a 7-point scale to assess 7 different dimensions of sexuality at 3 different points in an individual's life. Past, from early adolescence up to 1 year ago, present within the last 12 months, and ideal, what the individual would choose if it were completely their choice.
I'm going to make a pamphlet that says the bisexual option, and all that's going to be in it is just like, did you guys know that you could fuck anyone?
Big vibes.
You can fuck anyone.
It's all about that pleasure thing, baby.
And then you like turn the page, it's like literally anyone. You're like, okay.
I love that.
Oh, man. Anyway.
The Cell Assessment of Sexual Orientation, or the SASO, was developed to address the major concerns with the Kinsey scale and the Klein Sexual Orientation Grid, and as such measures sexual orientation on a continuum, considers various dimensions of sexual orientation, and considers homosexuality and heterosexuality separately. Rather than providing a final solution to the question of how best to measure sexual orientation, the SASO is meant to provoke discussion and debate about measurements of sexual orientation. So instead of saying, I am a number blank, it's, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to tell you.
I do what I want.
The SASO consists of 12 questions. 6 of these questions assesses sexual attraction, 4 assess sexual behavior, and 2 assess sexual orientation identity. For each question on the scale that measures homosexuality, there is a corresponding question that measures heterosexuality, giving 6 matching pairs of question. Taken all together, the 6 pairs of questions and responses provide a profile of an individual's sexual orientation. However, results can be further simplified into 4 summaries that look specifically at responses that correspond to either homosexuality, heterosexuality, bisexuality, or asexuality. For all the questions on the scale, Cell considered those assessing sexual attraction to be the most important, as sexual attraction is a better reflection of the concept of sexual orientation, which he defined as extent of sexual attractions towards members of the other, same, both, or neither sexes, can either sexually identify or sexual behavior. Identify and behavior are measured as supplemental information because they are both closely tied to sexual attraction and sexual orientation. Major criticisms of the SASO have not been established, but a concern is that the reliability and validity remains largely examined.
Or Sasso. Or Sasso.
Or Sasso.
Completely threw us off the high facts.
Thank you.
I've been fighting with a gnat.
So
Sorry.
basically, the Sasso is the best that we got so far, and they haven't decided whether or not there's any bad aspects to it.
No.
I took it myself, and I'm like, just straight of the middle, if that makes sense, and highly sexual.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'd be exactly the same.
Yeah. That was a crazy sound.
That was a crazy sound.
That was super wild. Anyway.
Fireworks.
Oh,
People are allowed to buy those right
Happy
now.
early 4th, everyone.
Time of the year.
Wow.
Furthermore, sexuality may be fluid. For example, a person's sexual orientation identity is not necessarily stable or consistent over time, but is subject to change throughout life. Diamond, a person, found that over 7 years, 2/3 of the women changed their sexual identity at least once, with many reporting that the label was not adequate in capturing the diversity of their sexual or romantic feelings. Furthermore, women who relinquished bisexual and lesbian identification did not relinquish same-sex sexuality and acknowledged the possibility for future same-sex attractions or behavior. One woman stated, "I'm mainly straight, but I'm one of those people who, if the right circumstance came along, would change my viewpoint." Therefore, individuals classified as homosexual in one study might not be identified the same way in another, depending on which components are assessed and when the assessment is made, making it difficult to pinpoint who is homosexual and who is not, and what the overall prevalence within a population may be. So basically, who's gay? We don't know. And it doesn't really matter.
Who's gay? Hey, guess what? Why are we asking this question?
Hey, you know, the right night, enough tequila. Mm-hmm. Everybody look gay.
Everybody looking gay.
Everybody in the club looking gay, yeah. You know.
Yeah, that's the only time I care about knowing who's gay is when I'm popping my head around the corner at the bar.
Oh yeah, of course.
Some fancy ladies.
Got the there you go.
So who's gay?
So gotta get the sneaky peets on.
We'll pop in.
Oh, gay. I'm not fucking with you. All right, cool. Here we go.
Oh shit. Good times.
And to kind of tie back our sex episodes, something that's important to remember is primarily with feminine individuals, that it's a lot more to do with the mental state,
for sure.
the story behind it, all that kind of shit. And then people that orient more masculine is much more visual and physical, right? It's a lot easier and simplified for men. So that's one of the reasons why they think that women, are a lot more fluid as far as like orientation or orientation identity.
Smarter and more attuned to the world.
Yeah,
Sure.
No arguments
we're just
from
like-
this side of the table.
We're just like, hell yeah, is that gonna make me come? Fuck yeah, dude.
looks good. Let's go.
How about it?
Jesus Christ. Big facts though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Though I was definitely like in the camp with your female guests about what arouses women and what doesn't, and when they were like, "Nah,"
Yeah.
I don't fit that standard. I related to that.
And I mean, that's always something that's really important to remember. And it goes along with what I've been talking about today, is that it's almost impossible to take
Put
every
people in
single
boxes.
individual person and say, this works for you.
Yep.
Well, that's impossible.
Yeah.
So with things that you're sexually aroused by is going to vary between person and person,
Yep.
Of course.
So there's really no such thing as straight. There's no such thing as gay.
No, it's just a social construct. That's it.
Kind of like gender.
Hey.
Hey,
It's all about that pleasure thing, bro.
That's the thing about like.
Whatever make you feel good.
Here's what makes me feel weird about saying, I'm not coming at you or anything, but saying that there's no such thing when
Sure.
it only exists as a social construct, right? There are so many things that only exist as a social construct, and I feel like disacknowledging those because they only exist as social constructs and saying they're not real minimizes the experience of the people who are impacted by those social constructs, right? Like that's like saying racism isn't real, but it is.
No, that's absolutely
And
true.
like gender's not real, but it is to the people who, you know what I mean? And I know you didn't mean it that way.
No,
I'm just saying.
I exclusively mean it from more of like a scientific standpoint.
Exactly.
You
well,
know?
so
Yeah.
avoiding the problem doesn't fix it.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
also incredibly true. You know what I mean? And
Like that's not real. Okay.
Yeah, right.
We'd love that if that were true.
You can run from what you feel like you need to, but it's going to catch up to
You
you.
know, they're in this country. They just give them a month, and it's cool. Black History Month, Pride Month. You know, they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah.
They got their days. It's fine. They got a
You know
month
what
to
was
do that
terrible
shit.
was when I was in high school. One of my I won't say friends because he's not my friend. It's like, where's White History Month? And I was like, all year,
Every month.
all fucking year. That's where it is.
It's been White History Month since that last kingdom in Spain got overthrown from an African king.
Since we shit on the Tudors or
Yeah, right.
The Moors.
This
The
is his
Moors.
memory song.
The Moors.
He sings
yes.
that song to help him
You know,
remember.
it did help my memory there. It popped out
I know,
eventually.
I loved it.
No, but for real though. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
And you can go back and listen to that in season 2 of Finished Facts and Fiction.
Yeah.
We cover the whole history.
And a little bit in season 1.
Yeah, a little bit in season 1 as well.
so yeah.
You know, all the hot facts. But yeah, man, this has been our episode on sexual orientation. And yeah, I hope y'all are good.
Thanks, Grant,
I ain't
for
good.
being the scientist.
I really like being amateur scientist. It's fun.
Yeah, my guy be doing deep dives, man. He's doing deep dives out here, man. Hats off to the homie, man. I'm watching him crush it out here, read like 3 books a week and shit, working 80 hours a week, you know, out here thugging.
And we'll see how bad I do next week.
Yay!
That was perfect.
We got next week is what, Psychopaths?
It's Psychopaths, baby, and that's all on me.
That's
Go
fun.
figure.
Oh. Yeah, the wild card.
Well, honestly, after
Wild card,
listening,
talking about wild
after
cards.
listening
Yeah.
to the 2 podcasts that I've been pushed to listen to, I'm not a psychopath.
Oh, there you
Contrary to popular belief.
go. There you go. Hell yeah. Well,
There's this book I read by Bob. No, I
Bob
can't
Ross.
No, but Bob Hare was the guy who like invented it. It's called the psychopath test. And this journalist whose name is escaping my mind like went through to major corporations in America and administered this like 30-point test to the CEOs and COOs and all
They're all
that of these
psychopaths.
and like all of them were. I think there was like one that wasn't.
Yeah, psychopaths.
Yeah.
Like your Bezos and those
Yeah.
people of the world, they're fucking psychopaths.
Yeah.
You got to be a certain type of fucked up to.
Well, I mean,
want
He does a
that
TED
level
talk
of
too, the author
success.
of that book. Yeah.
It's crazy.
you can also just look at Bezos, like,
In his eyes, know something ain't
or
right.
just look at him,
Yeah.
but also his space race. In comparison to everybody else, he just has this thing that's just like Blue Moon, and it's just a ball with like 2 legs on it. It's like, that's not aerodynamic. I'm not a scientist, and I know that. Come on, man. You shit your fucking employees out of money, and you're putting this up. Yeah, but
Putting a ball in space,
but
y'all.
the one good thing that is going to happen out of this is that Bezos said that he and his brother are going to take the first flight,
Yeah.
which I hope they die on.
Well, that's on live air. Anyway, I am.
So when the government comes for Drew,
Which has no scientific, technological anything. They're going to be like, you killed Jeff Bezos.
We're like, nah, his dumbass fucking spaceship did. I said it on air.
Well, I'm Justin Ammons, and I'm saying love, live life because it's worth living, y'all.
I'm Drew Chilton. I'm saying be so damn kind. You know, I'm so heartfelt and just sincere. And I just want you guys to just jump on and just ride along with this reindeer.
There you go.
Loved it.
There you go.
No, you didn't.
that's a
Actually, I
sexual
did really like
orientation
it.
Ooh.
of some kind.
I'm Grant Bramlett. That's my name. Sure of it. I'm sure of it now.
I'm sure. I don't think so.
Positive that it's Grant Bramlett.
Brian
Question
Gramlett.
mark?
Who put a question mark on the teleprompter?
Questioning.
For all of those out there, if you ever put your child through conversion therapy, I never liked you. If anyone out there has helped someone deal with the ramifications of going through conversion therapy, I always loved you.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got an outro there, Ice Queen?
Hi, I'm Kayla. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Nice. It was our pleasure. Yeah. So, yeah. Tune in next week. Keep supporting us. We love y'all all out there. This, again, has been a
Episode.
of
That is the
Friends-
word.
Friends, Facts, and Fiction. We out.
Thanks for listening and stay tuned for the next installment. Find us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date on all things Friends, Facts, and Fiction. Our Instagram handle is friends_facts_fiction. As always, please reach out to us. You can send any of your questions, praise, and fact-checking to friends.facts.fiction@gmail.com. It's important to us to only propagate the truth, and we'll correct any errors we may have made. Your hosts and researchers are Justin Hammonds, Grant Bramlett, and Drew Shelnut. Our episodes are produced by Grant Bramlett. Additional producership provided by Grace Higgs. Our recording engineer is Grant Bramlett. Our editor, mix, and mastering audio engineer is Jeremy Mulder. Lighting design is provided by Justin Hammonds. Our office assistants are Gully and Bull. Our research assistants are Under and Paid. Our current interns are Lost and Questionable. Our personal drivers are Titleist and Tired. And our resident pooches are Pack and Jolene.
The Devil Child.
This has been a production of Friends, Facts, and Fiction.
It's either that or I'm listening to like serial killer stories and they're like, and then they gutted the child and like threw him in the river. And these kids are like, hey, can we play with pizza? I'm like, yeah, you can play with pizza, bro. I got you, bro. Please don't ask me what I'm listening to because moms like to do that. So what are you listening to? John Wayne Gacy podcast. So do you want to visit that?
You still want some
that?
pizza?
Why you with your 5-year-old son? Anyway.
Just lie. Like the Wiggles. That's what I'm listening to.
The Wiggles.
Brenda.
No, I want to say NWA, fuck the police.